Hello, welcome to the Bowlers Union wrap up. We're live again. Keith, obviously, from a beach in Barbados, which is far better than where I am. And England have closed 134 for six in their second innings and still trail the Australians by 43. Safe to say, all hopes are gone, Keith. We're going to lose tomorrow. It's pretty bleak.
Yeah, and the writing's on the wall for the next few tests, I think, mate. I think this could be a 5-0. If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I think this is going to be a 5-0.
Glenn McGrath's actually going to be right, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? I know he says it for Bant every time, but you know why I'm so gutted? It's because I genuinely thought this time around we had the side to do something. I really do, and actually on paper, I still prefer probably England's team, but their output is just nowhere near as good as the Australians.
Do you think, right, if England were to have played a more traditional way of playing, batting and bowling to an extent, with a slightly different, more traditional team, they would stand a better chance this Ashes?
Uh, well, I think, for example, if you're taking a more traditional approach, I think in the first test in Perth, I think England would have posted more runs in their second innings, which would have obviously given them more of a chance. um, yeah, well, yes, frankly. Although I don't believe it's necessarily the players. I think it's just the tactics or the way they're going about it, whatever you want to call it, mindset. I think the players are largely the right ones. Obviously you can make a couple of arguments here or there, but I think the players are cool. Like it's just I think perhaps they need to recognise situations when maybe absorbing a bit of pressure. I think oh, you know what I was thinking about this earlier. I think about like Floyd Mayweather, right? Arguably the you could argue greatest boxer ever.
Mm.
He absorbed so much pressure and like you know what I mean, used his shoulders to block
Yeah.
so many punches and he just wore opponents down. I feel like that's the opposite of England's approach to boxing. It would literally be like just charging in and just throwing haymakers. And that's okay. And every now and again that's going to work. But against a team that is as disciplined as this Australian one, or frankly as good as the India team last summer, you're not going to beat those sides consistently. I don't think with this approach. I feel like you're just going to end up getting picked off.
So what you're saying is against shit teams it works, against good teams you look bang average.
As I've said, it's like Anchorman, isn't it? 60% of the time it works every time. It's one of those. That's how I feel about it. Um, and actually, I know England can whack Zimbabwe everywhere at seven and over, but
Mm.
I want us to beat Australia, and I want us to beat India, and I want us to beat South Africa. And I think that's the public expect that, and they know they're the big games. But that's I think where this whole scenario falls down. But I want to ask you anyway because I know what your thoughts are. So Stark got 77 today, and he batted 141 balls, which is obviously a great effort. More balls faced by him than any of the other Aussie batters. Posted a big score. The tail wagged. There you go. Old school. They've worn England down. Wore England down. Right. I know we've been worn down a few times in our playing careers. It's hard, isn't it?
It is, mate. It is tough. That's what we used to try and do when we were batting, wasn't it? We'd try and grind teams down, do everything we could to make sure we didn't have to put our bowling boots on and just grind teams out there because eventually the opposition's batters are going to be annoyed because they want to get batting, and then when they do bat, they're a bit more tired, and then you can just break through one or two wickets and then you're in. Um,
Mm.
do you know what? I'm a bit annoyed, Chris.
Oh yeah.
I'm a bit annoyed at a certain England batter, and he's a really good batsman.
Who today? Who's ruffling your feathers today?
Ollie Pope is in the best form he's been in, and he's getting out as though he's out of form. Both
Yeah.
innings are the kind of dismissals you get out to when you're out of form. Chopping on and poor caught and bowled. Like he's missing out massively. Jacob Bethel is literally breathing on his neck, just very gently, just breathing, just here. And I
Yeah.
think it's only a matter of time. I think the
Well,
media are going to look at him soon. I really do.
Well, England are going to go 2-0 down, right? Um, and I feel like you see changes in the team when teams lose, don't you? Whether rightly or wrongly. Normally a bowler gets eased, actually. So I'd expect to see one bowler maybe have a blow in the next test, because we may as well be talking a little bit about the next test at this point. But yeah, Pope, is this the thing? Is this the time Bethel comes in? Not genuinely.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's got one more test. I think.
What, Pope's got one more, you think?
I feel like he's got one more test.
Well,
I'd be very surprised if Bethel does not play. If Pope or one other batsman, maybe even a Brook, doesn't score some runs.
You know what, right? I'll be totally honest. Pope is one of the toughest opponents I feel like I've bowled at, actually, in recent years. We played Surrey about 3 or 4 years ago, and I think I've already said this at different times, but he looks to score, and his energy is running, and all of this is fantastic. But it looks like he's gone up a notch in the way he takes risks.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't think he needs to, because he scores quick anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think he's just added an extra 15-20% onto his normal way of playing. I'd agree with you playing against him. He's very dominant, very assertive, but he's a busy batsman as well. Yeah. But it just seems that the odd time he's just going a little bit out of his box. That's my opinion, which is a shame because he's a very good player. But I just know that Bethel's there. Bethel's there for a reason.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I mean, obviously we talked about Pope there, but going back to the Aussies, essentially they batted the way they did. They posted 511. They batted all of that time, and this was the first innings today. This was the England second innings that was under lights, I suppose. It was like a whole session against a newish ball under lights, and obviously the Aussies, mate, terrific. Boland. And Nessa in particular, just brilliant areas, mate. They just orthodox bowling, hunting top of off, hunting that shin, and got their awards. But you expect nothing less. They're both. I know the mainstream media they've gone after Nessa a little bit. I think in this game, because he's had the keeper up a few times and stuff. They've been saying, "Oh, Nessa's rubbish and stuff." I just want to assure people who listen to this or whatever, Nessa is a brilliant bowler. He's proper, isn't he? I know he might not be an elite test bowler, but he's a serious operator.
He is very skillful. Obviously, played with him 2 seasons ago. Very skillful bowler, and he is a massive workhorse. You know what Potts said when we had him on, Matthew Potts, in highly skilled workhorse. Nessa's that. He just runs in all day, tries to execute skill. Obviously, it doesn't look great for the entertainment side if keepers up, but he's got to make a living, people. I too sometimes have the keeper up. You've got to do what you can.
Well, I mean, again, that's not Nessa's decision necessarily, is it? That's Carey, who's been amazing with the gloves this game, just saying, you know what, I'm just going to change something up here. I'm going to come up to the stumps, try and pull the batter back into the crease. And like Nessa gets good energy. Nessa's like, you know what? Yeah, batted against him recently in the county championship. Nessa has good energy off the surface, so he's not like got the ridiculous air speed and the ball speed. He's not in the 140s at all. But what he does do is he comes off the surface with energy. And actually, that is something that doesn't get measured when you're watching on telly and stuff. And in some ways, I think batters, they like that less. Like bowlers who they're like, oh, that's like skidded really quickly off the deck or hitting the bat hard. But it doesn't really get mentioned. But England's innings just gone, there's a couple of caught and bowled in there. But the dismissals were relatively orthodox. And I think in some respects, they've got what they deserved because they've been outplayed. So it's like, you know what, Mother Cricket has looked after Aussies here, and it's gone, you know what, England, now you're going to have a tough session because it's pink ball under lights. Mitchell Stark running in. And that's the way the game unfolds, isn't it? All of that momentum, and ultimately it's left England 134 for 6. What's annoying me, Keith, as well, is I'm watching Stokes. And I'm a huge fan of Stokes. You can really see him working incredibly hard at the crease.
Yeah.
I feel like he gets it. I think he gets the general nation sentiment. But I don't want to see him necessarily feel like he has to do that. I want to see everyone taking responsibility. And if there is anyone that I want to see bazballing it, it's actually Stokes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know what you mean. It's like the opposite role of what he's having to do when everyone else should probably be trying to do that and let him have free reign. It's just amazing, obviously, the commitment he's showing in how much effort he's putting in with bat and ball. Like, he's wearing his heart on his sleeve, like playing for England loud and proud with how he's going about it. And it just seems that the other lads are kind of not quite in the same. Well, they're not the same. He's a freak of nature, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So it's hard to have those lads try and reach his kind of way of playing, but I just want one or two other lads to step up and actually really hold the fort or hold the door, as I've been watching Game of Thrones again, Chris.
Oh, so jealous, so jealous. Well, okay, looking ahead, right, to tomorrow and maybe a bit further in the series. Ultimately, England are going to lose tomorrow. They trail by 43. They're going to get bowled out. Australia are going to knock it off. So they're going to be 2-0 down. What is next? You know, third test is Adelaide, I think.
Well, I was going to ask you who's going out. Who do you think is going to come in?
I think they'll rotate a bowler. Being totally honest, I think they'll rotate a bowler. So I think you're likely to see one of either Tong or Potts come in. I mean, Cast got 4 wickets, right? Part of me did think it might be him, so maybe him. But I think you'll see a bowler rotate out. Wood won't come back in because I think he's made it clear he's going to be fit for Melbourne, which is obviously the 4th test. Batting wise, I think they will probably leave it because, I mean, I think they should leave it. I think they should leave the batting as it is, but I think so. But then they need the players to then respond. Realistically, Pope I thought looked quite good at Perth, so he's now got to go and Pope's got to go and respond to that. So
what about do you think Jax plays the next one?
Good question. Well, Adelaide does spin, so.
Or does Bashir come in, or?
Yeah, geez. Well, this is the issue. This is the knock-on effect of not getting the runs you should, because although Bashir might be the better spinner, I'm thinking, well, I like Jax's batting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the answer is I probably do play Jax, which isn't great for Bashir, but I think I probably would play Jax. Yeah, being totally honest, and I'd probably just try and keep her fresh. We've got some comments in here. What was he? Who are they talking about there? Never mind. So it's frustrating. It's difficult. I don't. Yeah, you've got to cash in when you're batting well. Pope again. Pope's the only one, right, that you consider swapping out from a batting point of view. But he is also kind of looked the best on the tour. So then what do you do? Realistically. Right. Look, I think we leave it there. Bit disappointed. You've obviously been for a run, and you need to go and sort yourself out. I've got Arsenal on now, so hopefully they can make me feel a little bit better. Although we've got a tough game at Villa Park, so it's going to be a bit of a grind.
Yeah, well, hopefully you get beat because I can't have you boys win the league. I'd rather City win the league than you lot.
We are going to win it, mate. Arsenal are going to win it. Arsenal are doing everything England team need to do, I'd say. You know what I mean?
Corners.
Nice, good solid throw-ins, stuff like that. Right. Anyway, take it easy. Thanks very much if you tuned in, and we'll. I guess we'll be doing a slightly earlier on the whistle. You know what I mean? Tomorrow. So, right. Take it easy, everyone. Bye.
Cheers, guys. Bye.